Sippers, sippets, welcome back to another episode of Pour Your Own Problems. I am your host, Mercy, and today I want to get off into the Carmelo Anthony and Cyrus Carmack-Belton situations and the discourse that's been taking place. So I want to take a review of that, and I'm going to lay down my response afterwards. Let's review the discourse that's been going on throughout these situations. And remember, sippers, sippets, whatever in your cup, remember, pour your own problems. I can't do it for you.
Hey, boss, he ain't working.
The fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf at a track meet just last year. Trevor Sohaki is live for us this morning outside the courthouse with more on this, Trevor. And also, there's already been some controversy surrounding the makeup of this jury selection, too.
Yeah, that's right, Carmen. The prosecution used some of its strikes yesterday to eliminate 3 prospective jurors who were black. The defense objected, saying those prospective jurors were qualified, but the judge overruled those objections. By the end of the day yesterday, we did have 12 jurors and 6 alternates. The case revolves around a confrontation between Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf at a Frisco ISD track meet last April. Authorities say Anthony stabbed Metcalf, but Anthony says it was self-defense. Anthony appeared on a live camera feed yesterday wearing a dark suit and tie, sitting quietly next to his attorneys. When the prosecution asked prospective jurors yesterday if media coverage has impacted their thoughts on the case, several admitted that it had. One juror replied saying, quote, "I don't know if it's going to affect me, but I can't tell you those thoughts are not inside my head." As the defense questioned possible jurors, it asked if Anthony's age and race would influence their judgment. Some jurors said it would. Others said they would hold it against Anthony if he did not testify. And today will be the first time that we get a full look at the complete demographic makeup of the jury. It's our understanding the jurors will not be sequestered at this point in time in the trial. Opening statements begin today at 9 a.m. Live in McKinney, Trevor Sohaki, CBS News, Texas.
Okay, Trevor, thank you so much.
And my thing is with the jurors on either side, or however people want to look at it, with it not being any black representation, my argument would be most of the argument is them not willing to be impartial. And so, as you can understand, if you're not going to be willing to be impartial, then why would I put you, or why would I advocate for you to be on my jury? And I think that's what people need to really look at more than the racial component. Look at it in, if you're not going to be impartial, because this is about somebody, a child dying, getting killed, and it's about someone allegedly having self-defense. Another child acting in self-defense. So if you believe that you can't, if you can't be impartial, then it's no reason for you to be on the trial. And I feel like maybe from a black man's perspective, I believe that is what you individuals that went, you cost a seat to be of representation. No one's to blame but the people that were called upon and couldn't be impartial, in my opinion. But let's keep it going.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Indictment number 2023 GS 4007440. State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chike Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Signed number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Corley, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
I'm just speaking for myself. Yes. I'm going to say it out loud. Yes. I am defending Carmelo Anthony because he's black. I'm defending him because he's black, because you attacked him because he was black. You decided that he was a thug because he was black. You decided that this young man shouldn't have a bond because he was black. You decided that this young man should be charged as an adult because he was black. This young man should get life in prison because he was black. You didn't even know the details. You still don't know the details of the case. So yes, I am defending Carmelo Anthony because he is black, and you are attacking him because he is black. You respect nothing. His father said he didn't think this was a black or white issue. He didn't want it politicized. You turn it right around and you politicize it. You make it a black or white issue. And you think Black America is supposed to just sit back and let you find this young man guilty in a court of public opinion before he could even get a fair trial. Now, it don't work like that. It's cause and effect. You attacking him because he's black. I'm defending him because he's black. That's how that works. You still looking for your Trayvon Martin. You still looking to get even. You just have to be the victim. Y'all need to grow up. You need to grow up and have an honest conversation about race relations in America. You need to get honest with yourself. And some of you people probably were allies back in 2020. Some of you people probably were on the internet going, if Black America just educate us on what it's like to be black in America, until something like this happens and the true you come out. So yes, I'm saying the loud part out loud. I'm saying the quiet part out loud. Yes, I am defending Carmelo Anthony because he is black, because you have attacked him because he is black. I'm not speaking.
Okay, so the store is broken into, as y'all see. Water bottles. That's what the little boy died because of water bottle. He stole a water bottle. $0.89 water he lost his life for. That's crazy.
Sorry.
Plenty of water bottles. Now water so free is crazy. They stole all the cigars, the Newports, the lottery tickets, everything. It's a whole case of
I wanted to highlight those videos because there's been a lot of discourse and a lot of people reacting based on everyone's opinion. And so I wanted to tackle it from this way. And from what the gentleman was saying, that because he's black. I don't think race had nothing to do with this case. As the young man Metcalf, his father, stated and didn't want it to be about race. It became racial, in my opinion, when it first happened, and black people were outraged. And black people, we made it about race before it became a racial thing. This is, in my opinion, yeah, now it's a racial thing, but it wasn't a racial thing when it first happened. It was about two young men with their chests out wanting to get at each other, or whatever the case may be. We'll find out once the trial actually starts. But it was about two young men and not about a young black and a young white man, right? It was about two young men, regardless of what the circumstances of how they met and whatever the case may be. And he's gonna get his day in court. But we shouldn't. This narrative is, if we gotta stay. I think that's the issue that has plagued our community, is standing regardless if they black. I'm gonna stand with them because they black. Like, we're loud about standing when it comes down to whether or not another race or a white person did something to a black person, but we don't have this much vitriol for black on black crime. And we see them every single day, but those situations get swept right under the rug. You're telling me because it's black on black, those people don't mean nothing, but because if a white person allegedly did something to somebody, or another race did something to somebody that's black, you mean those deaths are more important than the black on black crime deaths? Because that's how we act. And that's how we react when all death, regardless of who it is, right? But I digress on that point. And then with them destroying the child's gas station, all they gonna do is just put in an insurance claim. Y'all helping them out. Y'all putting money in their pocket. Maybe not going to that gas station, maybe not buying gas from there, buying from that from their store. Maybe that will hurt them. I don't know. Maybe them not getting no type of business, but destroying their property. You're just putting money in their pocket. So y'all did nothing. Y'all didn't win anything. Y'all just be doing stuff. Y'all still going to Target. Remember the blackout? Like, what are we? Y'all ain't fine for nothing. This is going to be long gone tomorrow, and y'all going to be on to something else. Y'all going to be trying to find out who fighting on baddies. Y'all going to be trying to find out who's going to be the next mayor of LA. Whatever the case may be, y'all going to move on to another thing while these lives are affected and gone. And I know y'all seen the thumbnail, and I was talking about what is the difference between the Carmelo Anthony case and the Cyrus Belton case. And I'm going to tell you, nothing's different in this aspect. They were young, they're children, they're young men that had no business with the weapons. If Carmelo is going to this school and in this nice area, wherever the case may be, however you want to put it, what did he need a knife for? Why was he there with a weapon on a school campus? Same thing, same argument with the Cyrus case. Why was a 14-year-old walking around with a gun? At the end of the day, let's just stop there. Wrong is wrong. And so when you go in, so my thing is, when you go into something already wrong, you're gonna get scrutinized. And I believe that's what happened with the Cyrus case, with the Mr. Child case. That he shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. Regardless if you think Mr. Child was wrong or whatever the case may be, the child should have never, it's illegal. The child shouldn't have never had a gun. Why is he walking around with a gun? The same thing with Carmelo. Why did you have a weapon? Why did you threaten that you want somebody to do something to you? Because it ain't no different from what we see with the Chud the Builder situation, which I was never going to speak on him because I don't want to give him no shine whatsoever. No. So with that situation, egging people on just so you can retaliate and do something to them. So that's how I look at the Carmelo Anthony situation. There's no difference in their situations other than they shouldn't have been where they were. They shouldn't have had weapons in their possession. So that makes them liable and make them at fault. This is what I'm ultimately saying. And I think if we just sit back and look at the merits of the case and not focus on the racial part, but be a little more objective, we could identify and be like, yeah, you're right. There's no reason whatsoever that these children, these little boys, these young men should have weapons. But we're just going to continue to look over that fact. That's expulsion, having a weapon on campus. That's automatically expulsion, right? Why is he walking around with a weapon? And why is he in an area that he shouldn't have never been in? That is not his tent. He had another tent. Why is this young man walking around with a book bag and got a pistol? But we don't want to have those conversations. We just want to have outrage and make it racial. But let another black man, another young black man kill another young black man. Y'all ain't marching in the streets whatsoever. But I digress. Sippers, y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's your boy Mercy. I'm out.